It's Saturday morning. Watched a lovely sunrise off to the east there. The sunrise is in the east here. Let's see. 60 degrees in here. It's pretty comfy. Alright, what am I going to do today? I don't know. I need to prime this roof, but I don't think it's going to be warm enough to do it outside. I need to prime this trunk lid too. So I think I'm going to work on some other stuff. One thing I need to do today is fire up the old blue and white Chevy truck and kind of go over it. It's got to take a little ride to Virginia tomorrow. So I got that to do today. But other than that, I don't have a big schedule. I got too much to do. But that's just how I roll. So here's what I did one night this week. I got out my rocker arms, cleaned them up real nice using this thing. So I think I'm going to go ahead and install those in the engine here pretty shortly. And put the valve covers on and that sort of thing. I may try to go ahead and put that engine in today. I went ahead and pulled the trigger and I bought a I Did It steering column. It's a little over the top for me, but you know, I gotta get this car done and I just gotta get it. And this is gonna be the most money I ever spent on any car, but it should be good when it's done, even though it's a 4-door. It'll make a good parts car for a future 2-door, that's for sure. So I'm going to pull that column out of there. I'm not going to use that one. I had it kind of modified and ready to go, but I still got to figure out a bearing for the end of it. And I decided I'm not going to use the column shift. I'm going to use a floor shifter. Got one right up there. I'm going to do that, and so that should be here next week. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that mess out of there. And I'll probably just make a patch and weld it shut over that hole mostly. And then we'll hole saw the appropriate hole when the new column gets here. I think that's what I'm going to do. Or something like that. Anyway, let me get crack-a-lacking. Well, I just did a really dumb thing. I pulled apart this Holly fuel pump. I was using it on that Suburban for something, and it wasn't working good. So I took it apart, cleaned everything up, and put it sort of back together. You know, veins in it and all. Did that the other night. Then I come out here, I pick it up, and I'm looking at it, and this fell out. And the veins went everywhere. And I can only find 3. I've just been rolling around on my creeper trying to find the 4th one, but I can't seem to find it. Which is troubling since I keep this shop so spotless. Anyway, I wonder if you can buy a rebuild kit for them things. I know the pump's pretty expensive. Anyway, that's another problem. That's like DD Speed Shop says, that's a future Mr. Heavy Chevy problem. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, the good news is though, while I was crawling around on the floor looking for that, I've been noticing a puddle develop here, and I thought maybe I spilled some oil or something, but that is not the case. What has happened is the darn parts washer has sprung a leak. So I gotta figure what I'm gonna do with that. Kinda takes up too much space anyways. I don't know. Let me think on it. Hey, look at what Mrs. Heavy Chevy found while I was in the house doing something. She found the other vein. Where'd you find it at?
Right over here.
I hate I missed you looking for that. All right, back at it.
It wasn't really that exciting.
I'm trying to put. It depends on your perspective.
I found it pretty easily. It didn't take a lot of effort. I was down here looking under here and digging out the cobwebs.
Again, depends on your perspective. All right, I'm putting the rocker arms and push rods in this thing. The factory length push rods, I guess they're factory length. Whatever ones I got are the right length, so it appears, so that's good. I'm going to get that on there. Get those in there, put some valve covers on it. And then I think it would be ready to put in the car. But before I put it in the car, somehow the day gets away from me and I ain't got nothing done. It's almost 10:30. I ain't got much done. But I'm going to pull this steering column out of here. I'm going to take care of that hole right there, I think. I don't know. Kind of need a new steering column to know exactly what I'm doing, but anyway, I'm going to do something. That's what I'm going to do. Something. What you doing over there, Mrs. Heavy Chevy?
Putting this new gas tank nozzle in.
Don't look here, that's rust. How's it coming? Easy peasy?
Not easy.
Lemon squeezy?
Not easy, but it's coming.
Alright. Well, carry on. What?
I got this out of the 5/16 bolt.
That's not a washer.
I meant, no.
That's a 5/16 knot?
Why wasn't it catch on there? Is it the wrong thread?
I don't think so. You just gotta hold your mouth right, that's all. Alright, we got the rocker arms in, push rods in. That's the last thing I gotta do in the engine assembly. I got the valve covers here. I'm gonna go ahead and put the valve cover gaskets on and the little dew floppers that go on the bolts. Hopefully I can find the bolts.
Oh, biscuits and gravy.
And then I'm gonna put the valve covers on. And then I'm gonna tape up the exhaust ports and all that and the intake ports. And put my engine lifting rig on here. And then go from there. The car's going down. What the hee-haw? Who's running the lift? I'll be jiggered. Well, here's something I didn't anticipate. This valve cover won't fit because of this and this. Won't go past the rocker arms. Wasn't that peculiar? That side fit no problem. I'm gonna have to study on that. These are 823 heads. I can't remember what was on it, but they're whatever was on a 6-liter truck, 317 maybe. I know that these rocker arms are different on these heads. They are offset, see there, on the intakes, which is what it's hitting. That's why. I ain't got the factory valve covers that go on there. LS valve covers are a arm and one leg. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna break this off and that so I can put a valve cover on it. I may be forced to buy valve covers for this gall darn thing. But that's what I'm going to do so I can get it sealed up. Valve cover's easy to change later. That's what I'm going to do. It really needs a baffle there. Otherwise you suppose you could be subject to sucking oil out of the motor. But the PCV is on that side. So really air is coming in on this side. So maybe it'll be okay. Let's see if it fits. I'm going to still kind of hit. So I'm going to try to break it off a little bit more. I'm going to have to cut it. I wasn't really wanting to do that because of the shavings. But I can clean it up. It'll be alright. Well, the valve cover will go on and seal off. I'm not going to run it with these valve covers. I'm going to have to come up with something else. But it'll seal it off and do what I need it to do now. So I'm going to leave it kind of ugly, not ground up. And it's clean. I got everything clean. Anyway, that's that. Alright, well, she's been sitting there resting. I have installed a couple of sensors. I put a plug down on the crank one because I don't like the looks of the one I got. I might as well put a new one in it, right?
Yeah.
For Pete's
Just
sake.
to clarify, I ain't been resting.
Well, that's what it looks like right here, right now.
That's what it looks like right now, but I did get us lunch and everything.
She did put the fuel neck in the, but she forgot to put the little breather hose on.
Oh, I did forget the breather hose.
I don't know how you're gonna reach up in there and do that. But anyway, that's a future Mrs. Heavy Chevy problem. Right now, I think what we're gonna do is set the car down, move the junk that's behind it, push the car out, bring the cherry picker in, pick the engine up, affix the transmission, put the torque converter bolts in and tighten them up.
You're gonna put the transmission on this motor when you get the cherry picker.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You just made a terrible YouTube faux pas.
I mean, I'm gonna put that.
This is not a motor.
Oh.
A motor is an electric device which powers things. Motor. This is an engine.
This
Yes.
is an LS engine.
Internal combustion engine. It's not a motor.
I see.
I can't believe you just did that.
Well,
Grief.
shame on me.
If you think Mrs. Heavy Chevy should be embarrassed, please leave a comment below.
I won't be anyway.
Well, that's beside the point. Yes, we're putting the transmission on.
Not while it's on the engine stand, right?
You can't.
While it's
Because
on
the engine stand is bolted to where the transmission bolts. So you got to pick the engine up with a cherry picker, lower it down close to the ground so I don't have to pick the transmission up off the ground, bolt it or affix it to the engine, and then that's AFFIX.
Okay.
And then we bolt up the torque converter, tighten up the bolts. Then we can set the engine in the car. And that will be one less thing I got to trip over here. Actually, 2 or 3 less things. And that'll be good. That'll be real good.
That was a stupid.
I may back this truck up just a little tiny bit so that I can walk around the front. I can't fit down this side or down the front, which means I have to open the door to get to my stuff over there, which is kind of stupid. Really?
Well, it's a big old truck.
Yeah, I need to get it finished. I need to get it finished because I don't have any more tow rigs. And I'll probably bring more junk home, so I need something to tow it with.
Yeah. It's going to be a cool truck. I might even try driving it if you let me.
I need somebody to light my fire with this truck. I've kind of lost my mojo on it.
You almost did with this.
Well, I'm getting it back now. Yeah, all the rust repair was making my mojo go away. I kind of got bogged down, but my fire's lit again. The goal is have this thing running by Easter, which was my last year's goal, but
Yeah.
have it running by Easter and take it to the drag strip.
Partially due to the fact that this motor wasn't back. Like
Really, that
But
ain't
we
got.
had a lot more to do.
We could blame it on that, but the reality is I've been fixing rust till just the other day.
Yeah, that's true.
So, all right. Although the guy could have been a little quicker in getting my engine done. But anyway, I'm babbling, not getting nothing done. Let's get this cardboard out of here and the shop vac moved to the side. Set this car down and back it out. Mrs. Heavy Chevy has manhandled the cherry picker into the garage. Hooked up the engine. And now I've got to take these bolts out. Alright. I done went and bought some new bell housing bolts. And now I gotta get these bolts out of the converter. Hopefully, whoopsie. Hope everything lines up here. And let's bolt it together. Next, Mrs. Heavy Chevy wrestled the transmission onto the engine and put the bolts in. Got the dipstick for the transmission in place.
No reason to let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Now she's sitting down taking a break.
Yeah, because it's my bum foot. Trying to get some pressure off it while I can.
I don't understand why they don't tap the block right there. It's kind of peculiar to me, but what are you gonna do? Anyway, I'm gonna tighten up these bolts since she got everything ready for me. Ratchet and put a little extra ooga dooga on it. That's it. We're gonna have to set it back. Let me find a 2x4. Something else. 2x4 and something else.
Got another 2x4?
Oh, this nice piece of pine. It's too nice for that kind of work, but what are you gonna do?
Use it. Is it gonna be not enough? Oh, I think it'll be alright. Oh, this is why we had kids. Alright, let's bolt up this torque converter. Hey, look, the holes line up. What a happy day. Poquito más. I don't speak Spanish.
¿Por qué? No habla español? Oh, back it up just a little bit. Oh, the other way just a little bit. You really don't know your own strength. Oh, right there. No, you gotta back it up just a smidge. Right there. All right, turn it again. Más. Poquito. Oh! Too much.
Again?
Just a little bit. Ho, stop. Too much power. Too much power, Chiquita. All right, that's it. Now, before you all start thinking I know and understand Spanish, I don't. I understand construction Spanglish. That's what I understand. That's what I comprende. Essay. All right, let's push a car in and put a motor in. You want to?
Sure.
Whoops! I said motor.
Oh.
Now, I was just going to go ahead and set the engine in, but Mrs. Heavy Chevy insisted on taping up all the intake ports and exhaust ports and everything so that foreign matter would not be introduced to the engine. Is it sticking?
Not very good.
Might need to take a little brake clean on a rag and get the oil off it. Here, I'll show you. Is that going to work better?
We shall see.
I think it's going to be just as fine as it can be. Dang it, I should have filmed that. Mrs. Heavy Chevy just pushed the car back in. Who's going to clean up my floor?
Follow me.
What are we hitting with a wheel over there?
I don't see you.
Maybe it's easier to roll the car into it. There we go. Alright, now we go. Thing don't roll over nothing. Alright, you probably gotta put the camera down so you can help me. Let me go get that aluminum jack. Pick up on it just slightly. Alright.
Some more?
I'll tell you what. Oops. Yep, pick up on it. Alright. Down just a little bit. Can you do that gently? I'm gonna do it by turning the jack handle. You have to use this. You gotta use this. I can see one problem.
Yep.
The AC. I'm afraid of that. Pick it up. Alright.
Good.
Set it down. Gently. That's bad. So the question is, do I want to modify that cross member so this fits? Or do I want to get something else?
You'd have to do a lot of modification.
Huh?
You'd have to do a lot of modification.
Is that camera on?
Yeah.
Not as much as you think. Maybe not as much as you think. It's really only got to come down. Really all you got to do is notch it. Turn it off. Alright, we got two flaws in the slaw. One is that AC ain't gonna fit right there too good. I'm either gonna have to notch the frame or do something different. Which notching it isn't that big of a deal, really. Really.
Is it with the motor in it?
A little more inconvenient with a motor in it, yeah. But it's not that big of a deal to pull a motor. Engine.
Engine.
Good grief. Shows how uneducated we are. Pull the engine back out and get that squared away. But this is good. This is good. We're identifying stuff that's got to be addressed. That's a good thing. Alright. Is that the last one?
Yep, that is the last one if I can get it in.
Turn it backwards just a little bit until you feel the thread seat. There you go. Might make a decent mechanic of her yet. Alright, the next thing to do is push the old girl out. Talking about the car.
Thanks.
And get this cherry picker out of here. Hey, let me help you. It's a heavy. It's a heavy thing. Alright, ready? It's gonna be a lot heavier now. Ooh, stop. Now, it's got a little weight to it now.
Yep.
Now we'll push this out and make it sweep the floor. I'm not used to having such good help around lately, so I keep forgetting to turn the camera on. I forgot to turn the camera on when she pushed the car in. I'm just gotta do better. Well, got the motor set in there. Turns out we don't have an oil filter. What the heck, man? So I guess I need to tape that stuff up. Turns loose a lot of things. I can get my shifter figured out. Yes, sir. I gotta get shorter bolts. I don't have the right 7/16 bolts. But this turns loose a lot of things. I can put some weight on it, tighten up all my ball joints and that kind of thing. And get everything tightened up. Dust cover. It's a little torque converter in it, ain't it? I'm kind of excited. Can start doing exhaust. I'm gonna have a dry shaft made. I need to do that. Mine might be okay, but we're making a little bit of horsepower here, so, or at least I hope we are, so might better do it right. Right? Another thing that can be done is get that Holley Terminator wiring harness out and see, start figuring out where it's gotta go. Yeah. Yeah, lots of fun, lots of fun. All right, we got that done. Now we need to transition to other things. I got to go take that cap off that blue and white Chevy. And I got to run and grab some items in the big city. Okay, maybe I'll take you along for part of it.